Hi guys, it's Vivi at Home. Welcome back to my channel. So today's video, I'm just going to do a quick video on how me and my family are hunkering down for this quarantine, what kind of creative strategies we're using to keep the kids entertained and enjoying their creative pursuits in school, and how my husband and I are both enjoying our creative pursuits and using the time to our best advantage. So I hope you click like and subscribe and stick around. Let's get into the video. So, like a lot of you, we are on quarantine at home. We live in California, which means our state governor had issued a couple weeks ago a stay-at-home order. The week before that, my daughter's middle school kind of had them stay home for the week before spring break. Now it's been 2 weeks of spring break, and this is their first week back at school. So, and they're not back, they're homeschooling now. So we are enjoying that change in our life. I had one at home homeschooling all year, and then I had my daughter going off to middle school, which gave me a little more space to work with my son and my toddler, and it allowed me to have a little more, space in the house, and we were spread out. My husband would go to work, so it was like we had the house to ourselves, me and the little ones, from like 9, some mornings 9 because they had a late start day, other days 8, all the way until about 2:45 when my daughter would be off, and then like 5 or 6 or 7 even when my husband would get home. So we now are all 5 of us in this space together, and we're having to share that space to pursue kind of our creative and otherwise busy pursuits. So I just thought I'd go over how we're doing that, how we're balancing and managing, trying to keep things as productive and normal as we can with all the craziness that's going on around us. So I'm going to start in on my list of things that we're doing right now. So the first thing we've been doing is we've been trying to have a little warm-up morning PE every day. So I had already been doing that with my son, who was homeschooling all this year, by way of either going out to the park, going to the playground, going for a walk, or we do kind of these morning exercise videos. But what has occurred is, up until just this week, we were going out for like a 15-minute walk, either at the park or the trails near our house, and doing kind of that along with these exercise videos in the house, like as movement breaks throughout the day. But we just found out that now the county that we're in is going to have kind of a limit on parking at parks. So we no longer are going to be able to not only just go for walks on trails and stuff, we can't even park at the parks nearby anymore. So, and I understand that that's for social distancing, and I'm all for it. It just will make it a little bit harder to get the kids out when they need their breaks. But we can still manage to do that, just not parking at any of the parks. We also have started doing builder breaks. So my husband either does Legos with them, or these building blocks that they got as a gift from their uncle, or they're doing Play-Doh builds or kinetic sand builds. So we're doing a lot of breaks from just book learning and doing some kind of, I don't know, movement-y type breaks there. And then they do have, my daughter has a Chromebook for online learning through her public school, and my son has online learning as well. So when she's doing that, he's doing it. They've reduced their school hours from 6 hours a day to 3. So we have a very condensed window now. My husband is usually working on his side project that he has been wanting to take the time to work on up until, all this time, and he's been working full time and really busy, and now he's getting that break even though it's kind of an unwanted break, he's taking the opportunity and he's working on that class. He's teaching Illustrator techniques, and he's going to be listing that class on Skillshare. I'll have a link when he's done with it, but right now he is currently working on it, getting that class built. He does have, I think, 20 years experience in Illustrator and Photoshop as a graphic designer professionally, so that was something he felt he could share with anybody who was willing to watch it and see it and learn. It's going to be a beginner class, so I think he's going to do more as he gets more interest. He's going to make further, more advanced, more, I don't know what it's called, intermediate classes for Skillshare that way. So that's kind of a side project he was wanting to do. He's taking some of the kids' school time to do that. I am taking some time alone to work on my writing now that everybody is home. It gives me a little more space, so I'm not having to be the one person supervising everybody and making sure everybody's going on their schedules. I'm doing a lot of the cooking shared now with my husband. So right now he's working on dinner while I'm doing the video that I'm doing, so that way we can both pursue our pursuits while also moving the family along. So having him home is going to be kind of a nice help. It does put a lot of stress on us that his job was, it's like temporarily terminated. Hopefully it's temporary. I don't know how long this is going to go on. But so that does put some stress in our life. So one of the things that we're doing to try to de-stress is we spend a little bit of time together every night, whether it's watching a TV show or a movie, or we're going to be doing some family game nights. We already started kind of doing that. We always do it on the weekends only. We have to spread stuff out throughout the month. We're also doing video calls with family members and friends, trying to rebalance the kids' lives. This is a pretty stressful time for the kids. They don't quite understand what's going on. My daughter sort of does. She's 11, so she sort of gets what's happening. She and I actually started reading Diary of Anne Frank when this started, because I kind of wanted to give her a sense of, yes, it may feel like the world's ending, but it's not, and you know, there have been worse times and people have lived through them, and people can kind of see the good in the bad times, and she is really starting to appreciate that. I remember reading that when I was her age, or maybe even a little bit younger, and totally opening up my world. I was a big fan of Anne Frank's book. And so I thought now was the perfect time to introduce that to her. My son he's younger, he's 6, and he's a little more like, he's having a hard time grasping what this means. He kept saying, I don't want to go anywhere because I don't want the virus to get me. And then the other night he had a nightmare where he said that he didn't want his grandma to get sick and die from the virus. And she's in San Diego, so it's really hard because he's not getting to see her as much as we were. But we're trying to talk them through what's going on whenever those fears come up. We talk about them. We're spending a lot of playtime with them, and we're having them help participate in chores around the house. So we made a chore chart, and we kind of started breaking up some of that since they're kind of old enough to help. We thought we made it kind of like a fun thing. Like, you don't have to do these chores every day. Some of them are every day, like make your bed. Other ones are like wiping down surfaces, stuff like that. He and I are doing the deeper cleaning around the house, so they're doing like the surface cleaning every day, and they have their own special designated rags, and it gives them the sense that they're helping and participating in all of the things that keep our life going. So another way we are handling the quarantine is we're doing a lot more reading. My son gets ebooks through his charter school. So I've downloaded a new one every week, basically, from them for him. From his favorite author, Mo Williams, he's gotten 3. And then also his other favorite series, Mr. Putter and Tabby, which he really loves. So we've downloaded a bunch from them. My daughter's getting books that she's reading, and I actually just ordered one of my friends who is a self-published author. I've got 2 of her books in my bookcase right here, and I'm getting my 3rd in the mail. I thought I'd, help out a self-published friend of mine. So, and I can't wait to read her book. It sounds really good. So we're just doing a little more of that. One of the fun things we've been doing, when this first started, the first person I saw who went out there and said, I'm going to do an online live class was my son's favorite author. So that was the first thing we jumped on right away, because I wasn't quite sure what was going on and I needed that hour to, like, I think it's a half hour only, but it felt like an hour because he captivates them so much. So he sits there and he takes the kids through a little mini drawing lesson. He took them through the history of publishing his books. He shows them his studio. They do some fun little activities, and the kids were glued. They loved it, and it's called Lunch with Mo Williams. I'll put a link in the description box, and they loved it. Then I thought, oh my God, there's other people out there doing things like this right now. I started hearing things like there's Lisa Bardot, who makes Bardot brushes for Procreate, what I use to do my art. She's one of the brush packs. I love her brush packs. I bought a couple of them over the year, and she is actually doing live classes, I think almost every day, plus she has a yearly everyday challenge that is really fun, and she just her live classes are great. So I've done a few of those. The kids are doing some of those take a museum tour online, like through YouTube or Storytime through YouTube. Khan Academy is doing learning videos where kind of they do live sessions. So we're kind of taking advantage of all of that since we can't go out to our public library. We can't go out to the zoo. We're doing the live zoo tours of, they'll do an exhibit like they did the turtles. They did, what else did they do? I think they did the elephant. Like, so they're touring the exhibits up close with the animals, and that's really cool to see. I know that the New York City Library was doing some book things on there. We're just kind of taking advantage of all of them. I flag it on my YouTube, or I flag it on my phone on Facebook, and then I send the link to myself, and we have these little breaks of time where we're getting to do and see all these things. Through my son's school, I was able to order and have shipped, at the start of this. It's taking a long time. It's almost been 3 weeks. So I did it right at the beginning of this quarantine stuff happening. We're getting a microscope, a telescope, and a little butterfly garden, because we're going to start doing some of the science units with him with some more broad, like, you know, hands-on tools. We're going to, like, watch the stars. We're going to do some microscope tests with different things. I know I did that with my mom as a little kid, and I thought it would be something really great for them to just get to do educational stuff, not necessarily sit in a classroom setting because they can't right now, and it would really help broaden their whole appreciation of what's going on by getting to try all these different things right now. And instead of making it a scary time, it's going to be a time for fun and exploration. So part of that is I'm having my daughter do daily journaling, and I told her, you're going to be mad at me during this time because we're not able to go out, we're not able to see your friends, so whatever you're feeling, instead of coming and being sassy to me in this, you know, small locked up setting that we've got going on, pour everything you have to say in your journal. And that is something that I decided I need to start practicing too, because my writing projects have all stalled. They stalled out about the time I started homeschooling my son. I got really distracted and really busy, and they all stalled out. So my Kanban board I haven't updated in like 6 months. My inspiration board is just sitting there waiting for me, and I really feel like I need to get moving. I've got a whole empty other marker board there sitting there waiting for me to finish writing this project. And so I decided she's gonna have some writing time, I'm gonna have some writing time, and we're gonna start balancing this out. It took us this 3 weeks to kind of get into a groove. At first we didn't know if my husband was gonna be home. Now he is. So we are gonna hunker down and start using this time as best we can for our creative pursuits. So I hope you liked that little check-in and little explanation of how we're doing things here. Let me know in the comments how you guys are handling the quarantine, how you're applying it to your creative time. I hope everybody is doing well. I hope you are staying positive and staying healthy. And don't forget to click the link to subscribe and the bell so you can get notified when I make new videos. I try to make them on Wednesday. Things are a little hectic now, so I'm hoping I'll be able to still stay on the schedule since I was off for so long. Alright guys, I hope you liked this video. See you later. Let me know if you want me to do another draw with me soon or any cooking videos. I may even try to teach my daughter how to sew while we're home. So let me know if there's anything you want to see. Alright guys, bye!